Attacking might not be as sexy as scoring goals and beating defenders, but it's still important. And to help you guys improve, we've gathered 30 tips in 30 minutes from a range of top pro defenders. So if you want to improve your defending, let Van Dijk and Ruben Diaz and Licha Martinez and Alphonso Davies and many more give you some pro-level advice. Let's go.
Okay, defending is a very difficult thing for all players, especially because attacking players have all the options, right? Creativity, they can use their speed, they have space, all this stuff. We want to give guys a good understanding of what they can do initially when the attacking player is about to get to you. What are you thinking about? How do you want to set yourself up? Let's start there.
Well, I think, first of all, you said basically the most important thing, which is the attacker has the power to be proactive. And everyone, their whole lives, they've listened to be proactive, don't be reactive. But the job of a defender sometimes is to work within that reaction of what's happening, because you're not really in control.
Sure.
Yes, there's a bit in which you can be proactive because you can make the opponent go into places you want him to go. And that's a key one. But many times, and if they're good enough, they will make you be in certain positions in which you're exposed. And then it's all about the feelings. It's all about the little details.
Sure.
And about how close you can be to them. Some guys you can't be close to them.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's loads of details.
So, okay, then making it even more concrete now, if we set up here, we're a little bit outside of goal. If I'm the attacking player, right, and let's say I have an incredible left foot that is terrifying for you and you're a little nervous about it, what's gonna happen here? We're here, and if I have speed, right, and you're, let's say, the last man, how are you setting up and standing? Are you immediately gonna push me to the right? Or are you gonna push me this way? How should you stand? Give me a little bit of an understanding.
Well, even given the fact that you might be the best left foot in the world, and I know if you're gonna go there, you're gonna go and you're gonna finish.
Sure.
It depends on, I would say, many circumstances, just because it depends on if my team's gonna reach, if I make you wait long enough or not, or if I just
have to do something.
One-on-one know that I will be the only option to stop you. Even then, I'll try to gain time because you'll make you stressed.
Yeah. How? How would you buy time?
So what do you want to do?
Backing up.
You want to go?
I want to go left.
If I go to you,
yeah,
I'm gonna make you decide fast.
Sure. Okay.
If I just close where you want to go,
okay,
you have no option. You have to wait.
Sure.
What are you gonna do?
Okay. Yeah.
So buying time many times, it's the solution, because in a game of 11, people are arriving.
Sure.
Obviously then, sometimes you might go for a tackle, and that sometimes depends a lot on if you make a mistake. If you give a little touch that makes me reach it, yeah, if I can be close enough to, in the moment, I know you're gonna step up, I might try and block it, yeah. But for that, I need to be close enough. And if you're fast, I'm not gonna allow you to be close enough.
Right.
Because then I will give you the edge you want.
Then what about knowing when to tackle and how to tackle? Are you using, I mean, if we come in here like this, are you just going to poke a toe in because you're the last man? Or are you going to use your body to get in?
Yeah, it depends. So I would say normal circumstances, you should never try and go on the ground.
Okay.
But that's like, don't go on the ground, because if you go on the ground, you better be sure that you win it.
Okay.
But it's a game of certainties and uncertainties, and sometimes you have to be sure of what you're doing, and sometimes yes, to go on the ground might be the best way to stop something. But as a rule, if as much as you can stay up, right, and just take it out. But then it depends. So if you're coming at me and my left foot is here, if it's the closest thing I have, it's how I'm gonna tackle you. Yeah. But maybe if I know you're gonna try and go there and run, and if I'm close enough, as close as I'm getting to you, I'll block you with my hand, and then
I see. Okay.
It depends. Yeah. It depends.
What about this creative aspect of the game? There are players with all this sort of the stepovers and the stuff, and we get a lot of questions about the kids wondering, how do I deal with, I don't know, the Neymar or whatever, pick a player, right? How do you deal with creative players or speedy players? Is there a different tactic in your head, or are you just simply, every situation, I've got a few understandings, I have to read it like this? Do you have?
Yeah, well, it always depends, especially when you play on the highest level. It always depends on, for me, a lot on the way you press, the kind of intervention you're actually having. But yeah, of course, when you're facing a 1v1, everything changes because it's a direct duel. Sure. And you need to know who you're playing against. Sure. Even, I don't know, more rarely now, because the more you've been in the game, the more you know names and you know everyone. Yeah. But every now and then there's always a player you don't really know that well, and we always get kind of an info of what's his tendency. Like left foot, right foot, is he a winger that always comes inside? Is he a winger that comes inside, but sometimes careful, he can surprise you and go outside? Just to have an idea, because in the end, you can have players like Neymar, Mbappe's, Cristiano's, Messi's, that you never know what they're going to do because they can do it all. But still, you already have a feeling or a perception that, hang on, if he did that, it's because he's looking for that. And also, like in the game, everything's unpredictable because as you try and be proactive on what they might be doing, they're also very creative, and they know that if you're gonna do something, they're gonna try and do the one that they had in their pocket. But it depends. With the majority of them, when you can be close enough, you can have a kind of intervention.
I see.
When you've got your space and they've got the lead, then you need to also, like, first of all, make sure you gain time for the team to be positioned, and then maybe you can try and go on a 1v1 when you know, like, all right, they're in position, I can risk something.
Exactly. And last and final thing, what about those times when all is lost? You know, maybe you're in a worse position in all this. There's the professional foul that we all know exists. If you have to do it, you have to make that tackle. Maybe it's a grab, it's a reach, it's a this. How to know and how to understand the situation.
Well, I think
getting in trouble.
I think obviously there's a situation you're winning 1-0, 90 minutes, and there's a guy one-on-one with your keeper. Go for the red card. But I would say, normally you should never try and go for the red card, but because even if you can see the goal, sometimes the best way of your team trying to recover from it if you're on the pitch, and if you take that solution out, it's complicated. Obviously, last minutes you never know, and sometimes it might be helpful. You never know. But I guess, and let's not put that situation of a possible red card to avoid a goal that might give you a win if you're in the last minutes. But a normal situation, I would say, obviously depends on where you are on the pitch, and there are small faults that you can do before it's a scenario of a red card. And on those, it's complicated because it's just, and even the ones before, there are so many little things that in the end matter, and it's difficult to speak about it as a law, because every play is a different play. If you put me 20 different plays on a video, I'll tell you how you should do in all of them. But then to try and make a rule out of it, it's difficult because it depends on you, it depends on the opponent, depends on your teammates, depends on the ball, depends on so many things, depends on the pitch, on the weather, if the pitch is fast or not. So, but yeah, those situations about when you have to eventually make a tactical fault, I would say there are ways and ways of doing it, and mostly the best you can maybe position yourself in order to do it, because sometimes you see players, they've just been overcome and they need to make a yellow, they need to grab. But before that, they could have positioned well and maybe make a fault that wouldn't be nothing at all. And I think that would be my...
In the last, maybe if you could, 20 seconds is the last question. All these guys are going to be wanting to know what they can do in order to get better. If I'm a defender, it's a position that's not necessarily glorified as much as, say, a striker and scoring goals. What would you say to a young player on how to improve as a defender? What could they do? What should I be focusing on? What should I train on? Just as a small few set of things.
Well, I'll give you, first of all, I'll give you my 101 from my dad. Since I was very, very young, which is the lesson of always looking at yourself first, other than others. Because if you go on the roller coaster of putting problems on other people, you will never really look at yourself, and you will never really learn or try to improve. And if I've got to, I've always owned my mistakes, and mistakes are part of football, and only by making them you'll learn, and only by feeling how they feel, and it's not good, will you then be sharp enough and have the fear in your mind of like, no, this can't happen again. And it's a build-up of that, the learning. And other than that, I would say watch games. Watch games. Watch the best. Watch the best doing it, because obviously I might have certain kinds of qualities, other players might have others, but in the end, if you're trying to become one of the best, you need to drink a little bit of everyone's.
Yeah.
Because also then you need to see how the fast guy behaves and how the slow guy behaves, all those kind of details.
Right.
And then also I think for you to be a good defender, and talking about all the details from a 1v1 to a 2v1 to making the fault at the right time, I would say understand the game.
Right.
Understand the game, because, and especially as a defender, you said, it's not the most glorified position in terms of getting the attention that, for example, a striker receives if he gets a goal. But if you talk about importance, then that's another thing. And because of that, mainly, I say to you straight, you need to be one of the guys that most understands the game from the back midfield. You need to really know what you're doing, because you influence everything. And if a striker or a winger or an attacking midfielder, he doesn't really know what he's doing sometimes. He just needs that moment of brilliance to make his career. But you, if you want to be top, you need to know what you're doing all the time. Because they need one good action, you need one mistake.
Yeah, exactly.
So I wanted to chat to you about leadership. Of course, you're somebody who has not only won the armband for club, but for country as well. So you keep finding yourself in these positions of leadership. Is that something in your youth that you always aspired towards? Did you want to be a leader on the pitch, or did it kind of come naturally?
I think it kind of come naturally. Like you said, I think I only became a captain in the under 18s, 19s, the last year of being in the academy. And like I said, it was something natural. And I think I play on the position that you have to be the one that's organizing. You have to try and take that responsibility, and I feel like I really enjoy that.
Yeah. Do you feel like there's an advantage for your specific position, getting to see the entire field, that helps you in that leadership role?
100%. Obviously, you have leadership on the pitch, but also off the pitch as well. That is equally important. But I would say, as a centre half, centre back, you have the overview, and you have to try and organize what's in front of you, what's around you, and lead by example.
Absolutely. So once you acquired that role of being a leader, do you feel like there was an extra pressure put on your shoulders? Did you thrive in that? How did it feel to be named captain of not only club but country?
Yeah, both times I heard the news was obviously surreal and something I really enjoy and don't take for granted. But I feel like pressure is a privilege. You should, embrace it, enjoy it, and that means things are on the highest level and on the highest stakes as well. So I just enjoy that pressure, enjoy that responsibility, and makes me, in my opinion, a better player as well.
Okay. So you mentioned it kind of came naturally for you, but for the players watching at home that maybe want that role, they're aspiring to be captains, leaders for their team. Is there any advice you could give to somebody who's trying to take on that position? Yeah,
obviously, first and foremost, be yourself, be authentic, speak up when you feel like it matters. But it all starts with leading by example. Do the right things on and off the pitch, motivate and inspire your teammates especially. And enjoy that role as well, and eventually we'll be all good.
What about somebody who's maybe a bit more reserved, not quite as confident using their voice? From your experience as a player, maybe having other captains you've played for, or even other people in the team who have led in different ways, maybe not necessarily wearing the armband, how can somebody still lead the team, be a contributing factor to that success without necessarily being the most vocal or charismatic, outgoing person?
I think, like I said already, it's about leading by example. In the end of the day, it's what you do on the pitch and what happens between those white lines. And if somebody can grab the game by his hands and just dictate the play of the pace of the game, or score 1 or 2 or 3 goals, that's also leading by example. And everyone has their own leadership abilities. It's about how you want to, put it out there. And like I say, you can learn so much from people you whether see on TV or experience in real life as well. And you have to take each and every bit of wisdom in order to become even a better leader as well.
So you yourself, you're also trying to get the best out of your own performance while trying to lead other players. And as a player, you go through so many waves as a player. You yourself, 2019-20, Champions League, Premier League, almost winning the Ballon d'Or. Next season, sidelined for a long time, and then coming back now to a very successful state, very much in contention, winning trophies again. So the career as a footballer is very up and down. How do you stay level-headed when those waves are kind of crashing?
That's a very good question. Well, it's all about putting a lot of things in perspective. So many things are not as bad as it looks, and so many things are not as good as they look. So you have to be putting a lot of things in perspective and try to be consistent in each and everything you do. Whether it's in training and especially in the games, you have to try and not go down as much. You have to try and be on the same level or better. And but it's a lot of it is mentally. Mentally is a big part of being in that kind of state of not getting carried away, or I think that's the main thing. But it's a very good question, because it's a very difficult thing to do.
For sure.
Today we will focus on the collaboration between the goalkeepers and defenders in blocking shot situations. So here the situation, Willie up here as a striker, Kåre as a defender. Setup will be like this. I pass the ball for Willie. When I pass it, Kåre can get close, and the aim for Kåre is to get close as possible. And then make sure, Kåre, here stay close to the ball with small steps, so don't open up your legs, but make sure you cover the post you are coming from. Let's go. Get up, get close, close. Yes, good job. Almost. Kåre, ideally get up even closer to the ball, and then make sure you take out the second post. And then force the striker to go for the first post, and then it's a save from the goalkeeper. Yes, get up, close. Small steps. Yes, exactly. Get close, close as possible. Get close, stay in it. Yes, Kåre. And now it's an easy save for the goalkeeper. Pass the ball here for Willie. Kåre up here. And because you are so close, all the way up here, because you're this close, even though Willie take the touch, now you defend the other post because you're coming from here, and then it's an easy save from the goalkeeper, because the only space Willie can hit is where the goalkeeper is staying. Good job. Yes, get up and close, close. Stay in it. Yes, good job. All right, next instruction will be that you do small steps when he's about to hit the ball. So you don't open up your legs, but small steps around the ball, so you make sure you block and don't open up spaces between your legs. So when he take the touch, small steps. Yes, small steps now. Small steps, footwork, yes, Kåre. Yes, exactly, good. Yes, small steps, footwork, yes, stay in it. Good, Kåre, good defending. It's important to have small steps, so you make sure you close down the space in the goal. Because if you open up, the goalkeeper will have no chance. Imagine a situation, you are here, and you open up your legs. The goalkeeper now, he will cover the first post, and if you open up here, there's a free space for the second post. So important to have small steps when you are close to the ball. Yes, get up and small steps now. Small steps. Yes, stay in it. Yes, good job, Kåre. You completely close down the far post. The third thing to focus on in this situation is make sure you cover the post you are coming from. So when you're coming from here, now it's the far post here, you're defending the post over here. If Willie take a touch like this over here, now the situation changed, and now your aim is to defend the post you're coming from over here. So make sure you put pressure on the ball, but defending the post you're coming from. Yes. Get close. Yes. Good job, Kåre. Exactly. Perfect situation. Good job. Small steps and closing down the post you are coming from. Very good. Yes. Small steps, cover the post, the far post. Yes, good job. Then it's an easy save for the goalkeeper. Good job, Kåre. Yes. Here, you do the run in a too big a curve, and then you don't cover the post you are coming from. So you open up the space here and you allow the striker to go next to you, and then you cover the exact same spot as the goalkeeper. So make sure you're coming even more from the side, and make sure you cover down the post you're coming from. Yes. Yes, exactly like this. Very good.
Defenders don't get a lot of love all the time online. Everybody likes to talk about goals, 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 right?
Yeah,
you know, and so as a defender, you know, it's a tough job. And being that it's a tough job, what we wanted to give the guys is just a perfect understanding of how to become a better defender, right? What are the very first things? So for you, what makes a very good defender, or what makes you a good defender?
It's difficult to be a defender because you know, always when they score is always you are always on the image, you know, because you are the last man or one of the last man.
Yeah.
But you have to try to avoid shoots. You have to try to play as far as possible from your keeper, you know.
Right.
Because if they shoot from 30 meters and they score, it's impossible.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It happens.
But yeah, try to win all the duel you can have, and yeah, try also to talk with your teammates to solve any problem, because sometimes the striker are fast, they are quick, they move good. So you have to think about also the defense, your teammate, what he can help, where he can be, you know, and try to talk each other to solve the problem.
Yeah, that's great. That's
It's not
great.
only one against one.
No.
Most of the time, you know, you need your teammate to solve
Of course.
problems.
Yeah.
So you have to look where they are, where the striker are, where they can do the movement, and of course it's difficult. So
Totally.
it depends on many things, you know. And what the people don't realize sometimes is when you're on the pitch, you see different the things, you know.
Yeah.
Well, when you watch on the TV after, you say, why I didn't do that, you know. So
I know. Yeah. You're tough on yourself.
Yeah,
Totally.
of course.
Okay, so even making it now even more concrete. I'm an attacking player, right? So if we were just set up, give me the perfect base. How do you stand, right? If a player is getting ready to do all this stuff, he's doing all these tricks and stuff, what's your stance? What's the very first thing you're doing? Are you standing back?
To be honest, you have to know perfectly your body, you know.
Okay. What's your body set up? Like if
I mean everything. Your strength.
Sure.
Your agility, everything. Because if you are agile or if you are not fast, you have to take 1 meter more.
I see.
You know?
Okay,
if you are fast, you can stay closer.
Sure.
You know, because if the striker go one side, you can take the
close
ball.
it off.
If you are slow, you have to take one more step like that. And you have to leave a little bit more space for him.
Yeah.
So you have to know exactly what you can do, what not, and also you have to know a bit sometimes the striker.
Of course.
You know, the ability, how he play. If he pass the ball and if he do 1-2, you know, you have to know a bit, because
totally.
It's difficult. Because attacking, you can have a lot of imagination, you know, and you see more things. But
Totally.
Yeah.
So here's a question that a lot of guys ask because they don't know. You know when to go to the ground. You know when to slide, right? And sometimes in the box, it's dangerous to slide, right? You don't want to give away a penalty, all this stuff. How do you...
And more now. With the
exactly.
VAR
and now
the
VR, every time everything's so detailed, you know?
Yeah.
How do you know when to go to ground? Do you decide this before, or do you think, is each time you go to the ground, you know there's a risk?
Now is always the risk. It's
Yeah.
always a risk, and when you do that, you have to be 100% that you will take the ball,
Right.
and not the player.
Yeah. So one other thing that a lot of guys talk about, and you already touched on quick guys and skillful guys, but you're a pretty big guy. But if I was your height and as tough as you, as strong as you, when my back is to the goal, right, and you're defending, the goal's behind us, how does this change? What's in your head? Because if a ball's coming in here and I have it here, the goal's behind you, what are you thinking now?
It's not dangerous for me.
Yeah?
You are looking to your keeper, not on my keeper.
So your mind is
I just want
no
you
foul.
to turn.
You just don't want me to turn.
Yeah.
All right, so imagine we're at the top of the box. I
No,
see.
I enter in.
Immediately you step in, huh?
Yeah.
So the second the guy turns, if you can,
Of
you want
course.
to put it. What about if the ball's not there yet? The ball's not here.
Yeah,
It's over here.
I
You don't play
I
games,
leave
you leave me.
few meters,
Yeah?
2-3 meters, because there is no problem. When
All right.
when the pass will be done,
Yeah.
then I intervene. And
I
here,
see,
you
and
know?
you're there. Okay. One last thing, another thing. So if you come up here, right here.
Sorry.
Now, what do you do with defenders? Or sorry, what do you do with attackers? That offsides line is there?
Yeah.
Now I'm here.
Yeah.
The game is going.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do? How do you deal with this situation? I can move here. I can move here.
You can-
don't. And then if I want the ball, I can.
I have to reference you.
Yeah.
You know, I have to know exactly where you are, and
Even if I'm behind you.
yeah, of course,
You
I have
don't
to
let
know. I look.
So you
I
look.
yeah.
You
just
even
look.
turn sometimes a little like
Yeah,
this. You
I
have
look like that. And I stay on the middle of my keeper on the box.
He's talking to
the
you though
box,
too, right?
Because the other center back had to cover me. If he's on my back, if you go on my back, you have to go the other center back.
Right.
you know?
Right.
So me, everything frontal and lateral is for me.
Okay.
That-
What you can see.
Yeah. where
Yeah.
I can see it. The other things is for him, you know.
Yeah, I see. Okay.
So-
Yeah.
And
That's
the same
awesome.
at the other side.
Sure.
If he's on that way, the right,
Yeah.
the right
Center
center
back.
back is here. You have to look.
Sure.
You know?
What's there?
If he come here, it's for him. If he
Right.
come here, it's for me.
Okay.
Or for the other.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. Simple. Wow. Your mentality
Yeah.
as a defender, and when you make mistakes and stuff like that, how do you recover? Do you think about it for a second and say, all right, don't do that again, but keep going, or
Yeah,
how do
of
you deal?
course. But you know, that happened to me also on the past. And
Yeah.
the only one thing you think is to do better on the next action, because if you get frustrated and you think you will miss again, you have to retire. You know, you have to finish the football. You have to go back to your school or to, I don't know. You have to retire of football. So you just have to do your best. You know.
Yeah.
And every player, when you play football, you want the best. You never want to lose.
Right.
You know, and sometimes happen.
Yeah.
The best player in the world,
Yeah.
they didn't win all the
Everything.
trophy every year.
No.
You know, if we talk about Mbappe, Cristiano, and Messi,
Right.
for example,
Yeah.
not everywhere they won everything. It's
No.
impossible. They are
Yeah.
in different teams, and people have to understand that it's not possible to win everything
Right.
every time.
But you keep going.
Yeah, you keep going.
Yeah.
You just have to try.
Yeah.
As we mentioned, you know, as a wingback, you gotta do a lot of different things. But how can you train to be good at all those facets of the game?
It's a good question. What makes it easier for me? I started playing in midfield, so I had a little bit of different mind to play this position. I think that also my good thing is that I can attack very well, and my left foot, of course.
That's a pretty good left foot.
Thanks.
but of course, like you've been playing for what, a good part of 10 years now, right? Professionally. How do you prepare mentally to being attacked by some of the best attackers, wingers in the game?
Of course, you have to prepare very well during the week and with the training, with the videos you look, and these are the first steps, of course. But here in Munich, at this big club, you always have to deal with pressure, and I was able to learn that very quick, very fast in my younger age, and so I think you get used to it.
So let's say that I'm Messi. I'm coming at you full speed. How do you position your body to defend against me? Like
It's
what's
not
the
easy.
No,
It's not easy.
I mean, it's Messi, right?
Yeah, for real. But first of all, I try to prepare myself on my own game. So I want to bring my own game on the field. So this is I think the biggest thing I want to put in my game. So I'm very concentrated about my own game.
Right, but if Messi is coming at you, how do you say he's coming at you right here? Goal is over there. How do you defend me? Like do you
It
position
depends
him?
on how he's going to attack.
Do you want to push him outside or inside or?
It depends if it's Messi. He's left-footed, so I think his left foot is a little bit better than his right one. So I'm trying to bring him on his right foot.
Absolutely, but you don't only defend; you also go forward. Can you explain to me how the perfect cross is in your opinion? How do you hit the perfect cross?
Yeah, the football is very fast today, so you have to try to put good pressure on the ball, that it goes very fast, and there's not a lot of space in the box. So, yeah.
But being a wingback, right? I'm a wingback myself. It's not the sexiest position in the world because you have to run a lot. Do you have any shortcuts to being, so you can run a lot instead of just training, or is it just running?
Of course, you have to run. First of all, you have to run, but it's. I think what is very important is the timing. So you have to know when you run forward, when you have to run fast forward, or just stay, at the back. So, but you are going to do those experience during the years, and yeah.
Right. So last question here. Must be really frustrating now that you have run a lot. You run to help the team in attack, then they lose the ball, and you have to sprint all the way back to stop the counter. How do you prepare yourself for that, doing that over and over again? Yeah, sounds hard.
Yeah. No, I think I have great teammates. They try to help me also. Everybody goes back very quick and try to be in his position as as fast as possible. So, but I know that's also one of my jobs, and of course you train that. Football is a team sport, so everybody knows his job on the field, and you have to win the game. So everybody have to put their passion in there, so that we are successful.
And that concludes it, my friends. 30 defender tips from pro players in 30 minutes. But what should we take a look at next? Let us know below. Remember to subscribe to the channel if you're new here. And if you need new boots, the link to Unisport is in the top right corner. So go and click that. And with that, I'll be signing off. Cheerio.